The movie is Jaws, which was written by Peter Benchley and Carl Gottlieb and directed by Steven Spielberg. The film follows the New England tourist town of Amity Island, where, after a young woman is brutally killed by a shark, it's up to Police Chief Martin Brody to protect the beach-going tourists and locals alike from further attacks. With the assistance of ichthyologist Matt Hooper and grizzled ship Captain Quint, Brody embarks on a journey to stop the killer beast, and the trio engage in an epic battle of man versus nature. Believe it or not, this year is the 50th anniversary of the iconic film Jaws. In fact, it was re-released into theaters this past weekend nationwide, earning almost $10 million at the box office 50 years after its initial debut. But rewatching this movie, it doesn't at all look like it was made 50 years ago. It's truly insane what Steven Spielberg was able to accomplish behind the camera in this film. Legitimately, every frame looks so gorgeous, and it truly commands every ounce of your attention. This was the first time that Spielberg was able to get a relatively big budget, and boy did he make it work. His exceptional work in the film is really what propelled him into being the highly sought-after director that he is today. From tracking shots on a petrified swimmer desperately trying to get to shore, to a split diopter showing the police chief's divided attention, to a dolly zoom showcasing his terror as he witnesses yet another shark attack. This film is a treasure trove of different camera techniques that were each employed masterfully to add to their respective scenes. The underwater scenes in this movie are immaculate. They steadily build tension and dread as you watch the playful kicking of swimmers' legs from the POV of this unseen, vicious, hungry predator. This is a film that is so influential, it changed the landscape of movies of its kind. You can see its influence in virtually every creature feature, but also in more surprising places like Ridley Scott's Alien or John Carpenter's The Thing. Steven Spielberg and composer John Williams are essentially LeBron and Dwayne Wade. The two of them apart are still amazing, but together they're unstoppable. This is one of their earliest collaborations together, and I think it's the first time the dynamic duo made something that feels like magic, creating fantastic pacing between the camera work and the accompanying score that can quickly shift the tone from intrigue to despair to wonder to horror, all in an unbelievably smooth fashion. The main characters, the police chief Brody, the scientist Hooper, and the weathered fisherman Quint, felt incredibly authentic. They feel so grounded, and their roles and chemistry essentially became the blueprint for this genre of movies. Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw played their characters magnificently. The latter half of the film is really just those three, and each one gives a phenomenal performance that is just so fun to watch. I especially liked Robert Shaw's portrayal of Quint. His monologue about the sinking of the USS Indianapolis is haunting, and it's honestly one of the most horrific scenes in the film, despite its lack of action. And actually, another favorite scene of mine with Quint is the gradual, slow clicking of the fishing rod as the shark begins to take the line out. Quint's careful and methodical preparation for the imminent battle with the beast is an outstanding way to build suspense and sets the tone for the rest of the film. The practical effects looked remarkably good despite being 50 years old. While I know the animatronic shark had a plethora of behind-the-scenes issues, you'd never know it with how realistic it ended up looking on screen. While I get why digital is typically the standard now, this movie should serve as a testimonial of why practical is better in the long run. It just doesn't really age the same way that digital effects do. Like, the shark from Jaws looks 1,000 times better than the CGI shark from Deep Blue Sea that ripped Samuel L. Jackson in half. Also, side note, despite the violence, language, and even brief nudity in the film, this is actually a PG-rated movie. But that's really because it came out before changes to the MPAA guidelines that allowed for PG-13 movies. So if it were to come out today, it would almost certainly be PG-13 or potentially even R. Jaws is a movie that just feels so cinematic, in a way that almost feels like a lost art in film today. The culmination of the grandiosity of the scale of the film, the beauty of the cinematography and camera work, the sensational looking practical effects, and the ethereal score that complements the visuals creates a film that stands the test of time and almost seems to get better as it ages. This is easily one of the greatest movies of all time, and if you haven't seen it, it is an absolute must-watch for any fan of movies out there. You may still be able to catch this one in theaters, which, if it is, highly recommend it. But if it's not showing near you, you can currently catch this one streaming on Netflix. So go watch Jaws. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, please like the video, and add a comment letting me know what you thought of this movie or what movie you think I should review next. I put out a movie review each week, so subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks, y'all.